every year and a half, Venus goes retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights. And we're in one of these periods right now, where Venus turned retrograde on December 20th, and it will turn direct again on January 30th. So 40 days and 40 nights. Does this sound familiar? Well, it's a trope from the Bible. It shows up all over the place. And most notably, the fact that it's supposed to be the amount of time that Moses spent on Mount Sinai, during which time God revealed the Torah to him. And it's also the amount of time that Jesus spent fasting in the desert following his baptism, during which time the devil tried to tempt him. So what does the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, and even money, Venus, have to do with holy men fasting and wandering in the desert and speaking to God and the devil? Well, I'll get to that, but first I want to speak a bit about how to approach astrology, because I think that Venus retrograde is going to be a really powerful key to unlocking greater potential in how we use astrology to relate to ourselves and to the whole world. I'll let you in on a little secret. The planets do not affect you in any way. They don't do anything, okay? They are nothing but ripples in consciousness. And as such, they don't affect you, but they reflect you. You have a consciousness. The universe has a consciousness. The planets seem to form this symbolic bridge between your little consciousness and the universe's big consciousness. But in fact, both forms of consciousness are one and the same. They both reflect each other. So if we're looking at planetary motions and we're trying to understand what's going on, we're seeing them reflected in events, in the themes of our lives, in the types of people that we draw to us, in our personalities, of course. But really, like if you consider your birth chart, this was with you from the beginning. It was something that you're born with. And so even if it's showing up in outer events as well as inner, it's your birth chart. Now this suggests that you are the creator of your world. And this is really true. Okay, you are the creator of your world. You are the consciousness. Okay? Now, for the most part, we create our world unconsciously. And the planets do a great job of showing us the ways in which we are likely to create unconsciously. But as we become conscious, they also show us the ways that we can work to create more consciously and follow the kinds of ripples in the consciousness, the flow of that energy. The key to understanding this and to working with this in a better way is to understand that it's all coming from within us to begin with. Everything is in here, or in here, wherever you want to put it. So when we do that, then we can begin to actually make conscious choices. We can begin to see, if I think this, if I say this, if I do this, then this is going to happen. And we can start to untangle the knots and undig the graves that we've dug for ourselves, right? Now that takes work, but astrology can help us do this as long as we are waking up through some really powerful and deep inner work, right? We can't do it without inner work. Now, let's come back to Venus, okay? So, Venus, the planet of love, beauty, harmony, money, basically the planet of what we value, what matters to us, okay? Venus is the source of all our desire. Now, it's the nature of our desire to turn outward, to look outside for fulfillment, right? I need this person to love me. I need that money. I need that house. I need that car, right? And not that there's anything wrong with any of these things, right? Love, relationships, nice things. I love them as much as the next person. But when we are always turned outward seeking fulfillment, we can never, ever, 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 ever be satisfied. Okay, there will always be more. So we have to seek fulfillment on the inside. That's the only place we'll ever find it. Now, the beauty of retrogrades generally is that they turn normally outward directed energy inward. The key idea with retrogrades is introversion, okay? And not, like, oh, I'm an introvert and oh, I just need my alone time. But introversion in the fact that the flow of conscious energy is moving inward so that you are spending time in the inner world rather than the outer world. And if we remember that everything that we experience in the outer world is an outgrowth of our inner world, well, then we can realize that, like, hey, maybe it's kind of important to spend some time in the inner world if we want a better life in the outer world. So in this way, retrograde periods for any planet are a gift. And this is why I don't freak out during Mercury retrograde like so many people do. And I consider Venus retrograde to be the kind of the most important of all retrogrades, because Venus is the seat of our desire. Right? It's the source of all of that. And as such, it's the planet that has the most effect on whether or not we're thinking about things in outer or inner terms. So Venus retrograde offers us this amazing opportunity to go within and to get right with the number one relationship in our lives, which is our relationship to ourselves. And if we have a good relationship to ourselves, and if we feel fulfilled by ourselves on the inside, then somehow magically everything starts to go better in our outer life. Our relationships with other people go better. We start getting the things that we want, but we're not striving after them in the same compulsive way. Now, we've been in this retrograde period now we're about halfway, a little bit more than halfway through it. So for the next few weeks, try meditating on this. Think about all of the things in your life as a reflection of something inside you. And consider the fact that the only thing that you can do anything about is your own response to whatever's happening and your own choices that you make regarding your own impulses. Now, after Venus turns direct, it's going to conjoin Mars, and it's going to be conjunct Mars for a good long time, because it's just going to be coming out of its retrograde period, and anytime a planet changes direction, it moves very slowly. So we're going to get a very long conjunction of Venus and Mars, and usually this will last for like 2 weeks, but this time around it's going to last almost a couple of months. And I'm going to do a whole other video on this, but that's going to be a very, very powerful time for bringing together the two sides of your energy, the source of your desire and your capacity for action, the feminine and the masculine. And it's going to be a great time to, really, if you've digested this idea that I just talked about in this video, that it's all happening on the inside, it's going to be a really great time to find union within yourself and awaken to new levels of being. Thinking back to Moses and Jesus and all of this, what is Venus retrograde? It's a period of purification. It's a period where you can clean yourself out from all the contamination, not of other people and events, but the way that you contaminate yourself in relation to other people and events, because they don't do anything to you. You're doing it all to yourself. So consider this to be a purification time. And who knows, maybe come February, you'll come down the mountain with a pretty cool tablet. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and click the link to join the mailing list to stay up to date on offers for classes and counseling and for more free content. Thank you.